Back in 2011, there was a headline in the Maryland Independent that said, "Okayed plans lacked roads, county admits problem." And it was a huge issue back then because I believe it was the Kingsview subdivision was approved with the assumption that the cross-county connector was going to be built, and it wasn't. And it was a big issue then. My question now is, aside from that, the improvement on the frontage of this development, what's changed that wouldn't make this true today?
Again, just to clarify, I was not working at the county in 2011.
Okay.
However, I'm familiar with the issue you raised. The topic that was affecting Kingsview that you mentioned, and the fact that the cross-county connector at that point in time was viewed as a no-go, was an issue relating to the provision of 2 access points for all of those projects named in that document. So at that point in time, when the cross-county connector essentially evaporated, those projects were left with only one form of access. So there's a distinct difference between the issues that confronted those projects and the Guilford project, in the fact that the Guilford project is proposing and will have 2 points of access on Billingsley Road.
Okay, that's not the way it was phrased in the newspaper. So the article was that the road lacked capacity, and it was depending on the capacity of the cross-county connector. Part of the justification for finding adequate roads at the time, it's again from the Independent, it says, part of the justifications for finding that adequate roads would be built in time for the development was that Phase 5 and 6 of the cross-county connector were included in the county's capital improvement plan. So, and I know that the county then came up with a resolution talking about that. There was also recently a road study on the safety of Billingsley Road, I'm sure you're aware of. Yes. And the recent study used 5,000 vehicle trips per day as a criteria for the capacity of that road. And this subdivision is going to increase that by 3,000, which I think is a 60% increase of traffic on Billingsley Road. And it looks like all of the improvements we've talked about are from the development west and doesn't deal with anybody traveling east. And I'm very, very concerned about that. I mean, is there any way we can design these entrances to Guilford so that you can only enter them if you're coming from the west, and when you exit you have to travel west, so we don't increase the volume going east?
In answer to your last question, I think that would be, I'm not sure that's physically possible, and I don't know that a jurisdiction can limit an individual's access to a public road in either direction. Again, that's really more of a legal question, but from a physical standpoint, I'm not sure you could configure the entrances to be that restrictive to just the residents of that subdivision, because obviously